Mas pinalakas na pagbabalita, komentaryong walang mintis, iba't ibang entertainment. Radyo natin to! Radyo natin to!
Alice Go and Cassandra Ong and others face money laundering raps. CA extends freeze order on Kibuloy's assets until Feb 2025. Marcos appoints ex-regional tourism director as National Youth Commission chief. Filipino sailors hold the line at Flashpoint West Philippine Sea Reef. Sanctions called for national ID card supplier after BSP contract termination. Representative Franz Castro clarifies context of VP Sara Duterte's attack in House budget hearing. In entertainment, Beanie and SB19 shine spotlight on rising P-pop movement. And in sports, despite season best, Pinoy para-archer Agustina Bantilok faces rough start in Paris ranking rounds. This and more on Newsline Weekend. Good morning, I'm Raymond Kaibigan. Newsline Weekend begins right now. And for those of you watching on Facebook and on YouTube, glad you could join us. Topping the weekend news, Alice Go and Cassandra Ong and others face money laundering raps. Several government agencies filed a money laundering complaint against dismissed Banban Tarlac Mayor Alice Go, Pogo Incorporator Cassandra Leong, and other personalities allegedly linked to offshore gaming operators on Friday. Incorporators of Hongsheng Gaming Technology, Baofu Land Development Incorporation, and Yun Yuan Technology were also named as respondents in the criminal complaint filed by the National Bureau of Investigation, Presidential Anti-Organized Crime Commission or PAOC, and the Anti-Money Laundering Council. The NBI said their investigation covered transactions worth billions of pesos in Go's bank account and assets, her family's properties, and her links to Pogos from 2019 to 2024. The court previously ordered the freezing of the bank accounts and personal assets of Go and others for their ties in the raided Pogo Yun Yuan Technology. Go continues to evade the Philippine authorities despite several cases filed against her, including tax evasion. Based on the last report of authorities, Go, also confirmed by the National Bureau of Investigation as Chinese woman Go Huaping, is believed to be hiding in Jakarta, Indonesia, and likely headed to the crime-infested Golden Triangle to evade arrest. In other news, CA extends freeze order on Kibuloy's assets until February 2025. The Court of Appeals has extended a freeze order on the assets of fugitive preacher and Kingdom of Jesus Christ founder Apollo Kibuloy until February 2025. Anti-Money Laundering Council Secretariat Matthew David confirmed this news on Friday. In the resolution dated August 20, 2024, the Court of Appeals extended the freeze order for 6 months from date of issuance or until 6 or February 6, 2025. The details are the same with the original FO issued by the CA, he said. Earlier this month, CA issued a freeze order that is good for only 20 days unless extended by the court. Included in the list of assets and accounts ordered frozen were Kibuloy's 10 bank accounts, 7 properties, 5 vehicles, and 1 Cessna plane. 47 accounts belong to KOJC, 16 properties, 16 vehicles. KOJC subsidiaries including Children's Joy Foundation with 23 bank accounts, 1 property, and 4 vehicles. And lastly, the SMNI franchise owner, Suwara Sug Media Corp, with 17 bank accounts, 5 properties, including a building along EDSA, and 26 vehicles. Kibuloy continues to evade arrest even as law enforcement authorities continue to scramble and search the KOGC compound in Davao City in search for the self-appointed Son of God. Members of the church and police personnel have been wounded in the week-long standoff. The Philippine National Police said they have only searched 40 to 50% of the 30-hectare compound. PNP spokesperson Jean Fajardo said they believe Kibuloy is still inside the massive area. Marcos appoints ex-regional tourism director as National Youth Commission chief. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. appointed the former Department of Tourism Regional Director Joseph Francisco Ortega as National Youth Commission chairperson. According to the Presidential Communications Office, Ortega will succeed Ronald Cardema, who was appointed during the previous administration. Prior to his appointment, Ortega served as the DOT Regional Director in the Ilocos region since 2019. He led initiatives to boost regional tourism and promote sustainable development. Ortega graduated with a Bachelor of Arts in Political Science degree from the Ateneo de Manila University in 2013. He took up his Master of Business Administration from the Ateneo Graduate School of Business in 2023. President Marcos is confident that under Ortega's leadership, the NYC will continue to be a vital force in shaping the future of the nation, inspiring young Filipinos to take on leadership roles and make meaningful contributions to society, the PCO said. Meanwhile, PCO said Carl Joseph Legaspi, a director at the House of Representatives, was also named second commissioner at large of NYC. The NYC is an agency that specifically addresses issues surrounding the Filipino youth via policymaking and coordination of all youth-related institutions, programs, projects, and activities of the government. In other news, Filipino sailors hold the line at Flashpoint West Philippine Sea Reef. Sailors aboard 2 Philippine Coast Guard boats crashed through West Philippine Sea waves, shadowed by Chinese vessels as they attempted to bring desperately needed supplies to colleagues holed up on a ship inside a remote ring of reefs. The Coast Guard's BRP Teresa Magbanwa has been anchored inside Sabina Shoal since April to assert Manila's claims to the area of its coast and prevent China from seizing it. But the Filipino sailors on board the ship are running critically low on food and the other provisions, which Monday stands humanitarian mission by 2 smaller Coast Guard boats was intended to supply. Philippine and Chinese vessels have collided twice this month near Sabina Shoal, located 140 kilometers from the Philippines' western island of Palawan and 1,200 kilometers from China's nearest major landmass, Hainan Island. AFP journalists on board of the 44-meter Philippine resupply boats watched as Chinese Coast Guard and Navy ships shadowed both vessels for hours, eventually surrounding them. With 40 Chinese ships in their path in rough seas, the Philippine Coast Guard turned back, leaving the sailors on the 97-meter Teresa Magbanwa without fresh provisions. Sabina Shoal is the latest reef to become a flashpoint in decades of maritime disputes between the Philippines and China. In 1995, Beijing began building structures of Mischief Reef with Manila claims as part of its continental shelf, and China has since constructed several artificial islands that it uses as military outposts. More recently, the focus of clashes between Philippine and Chinese vessels has been Second Thomas Shoal, about 30 kilometers southeast of Mischief Reef. A handful of Filipino troops are stationed on a rusty Navy ship that the Philippines deliberately grounded there in 1999 to check China's advance. A Filipino sailor lost a thumb in a clash there in June when Chinese Coast Guard members wielding knives, sticks, and an axe foiled a Philippine Navy attempt to resupply its troops. Beijing and Manila reached a provisional arrangement in July for the delivery of necessities and rotation of Filipino troops at Second Thomas Shoal. But now the Philippines faces a new challenge in reaching its Coast Guard personnel at Sabina Shoal, 60 kilometers east of Second Thomas Shoal. Sabina Shoal is also the rendezvous point for Philippine resupply mission to the Second Thomas Shoal. Beijing claims almost the entire South China Sea despite an international ruling that its assertion has no legal basis and defends its actions against Philippine vessel as lawful and proportional. Analysts say Beijing's aim is to further encroach on Sabina Shoal, moving deeper into Manila's exclusive economic zone and normalizing Chinese control of the area. A discovery earlier this year of piles of crushed coral at Sabina Shoal ignited suspicion in Manila that Beijing was planning to build another permanent base there, which would be its closest outpost to the Philippine archipelago. Beijing is using a salami slicing strategy, said Don McLean Hill of De La Salle University in Manila, deploying ships to Sabina Shoal and other areas to stretch the Philippines' limited maritime resources. Sabina Shoal's proximity to Palawan is a concern, said Andrea Wong, non-resident research fellow at the Institute for Indo-Pacific Affairs in New Zealand. If China gained access to it, it's a matter of time before they can not evade Palawan per se, but they can also get resources in that area, Wong said, referring to the fish stocks and potential oil and gas deposits. Coming up next on Newsline Weekend, sanctions called for national ID card supplier after BSP contract termination. Representative Franz Castro clarifies context to VP Sara Duterte's attack in House hearing budget. In entertainment, BNI and SB19 shine spotlight on rising P-pop movement. And in sports, despite season best, Pinoy para archer Agustina Bantilok faces rough start in Paris ranking rounds. More news coming your way when Newsline Weekend returns. Keep it here on Radyo Natin To.
Evelyn, hapon na mukhang fresh ka pa din. Ay, baho lang ng anit.
Mabahong anit? Mag-new Head and Shoulders every day para kahit malapit, fresh ang anit.
Si Evelyn, ako'y fresh ka na sa hapon man o sa malapitan.
New Head and Shoulders for 100% dandruff-free hair. No visible flakes with regular use.
Hello, Washi! Laundry day na naman!
Yay! Anong meron?
Mancha ng chocolate, putik, may libag pa.
Kaya natin yan! With Pride Washing Machine Detergent, may triple stain away formula. Tanggal ang makapit. Madikit, at malupit na tinitwansya. Kaya easy-easy ang lamada.
Mula noon hanggang ngayon.
All you need is pride. All you need is pride. ACS. Guide everyone. Iwan ang distraction. Magic ang guidance. Mag-focus sa moment with them. Sarap ng sama-samang litrato. Dala ng Coca-Cola. Tawanan at kwento. Walang maiiwan. Sa banding, buhos lang ang puso, Coca-Cola at kanin. Guide everyone. Everyday sa bahay, daming activities. Kaya breakfast pa lang, give them champion energy. Milo breakfast every day, Milo breakfast every day.
Jumpstart your day with a balanced diet, healthy lifestyle, and an energized, nutritious breakfast with Milo. May winning combination of milk, champion energy nutrients, at chocolate sarap.
Milo breakfast every day, Milo breakfast every day. Healthy jumpstart your day, Milo every day. Dalawa, tatlo,
Sinong mananalo? 4, 5, 6.
Fix na nga natin.
Vicks Vaporub, bibigay ginhawa mula sa 6 na simptomas ng sipon.
Pinawalo siya, mabuti ng pakiramdam. Vicks Vaporub is available in Pure Gold stores nationwide. Visit your nearest branch now. I-Vicks na nga natin, mabuti ng pakiramdam. Camphor Plus Menthol Plus Eucalyptus Oil is the generic name of Vicks Vaporub. If symptoms persist, consult your doctor. Ngayon, everything starts from the home. Stay at home, work from home, school from home. Buti na lang, lagi namin kasama ang sarap na at home sa aking pamilya. Gardenia.
Dahil ang gardenia bread, laging masarap, mabango, malambot, masustansya, at freshly baked every day.
Kaya kami mag-anak, ngayong stay at home, laging may gardenia sa bahay. Tara, let's bagets! Gardenia time!
Gardenia, laging kasama.
Sa mga millennials at young at heart, bagay na bagay sa inyo ang MX3 Plus. May CoQ10 at may L-carnitine. Sabayan pa ng workout at healthy diet. Kayang ma-achieve ang good health. Mag-MX3 Plus araw-araw para MX-Extraordinary. Mahalagang paalala, ang MX3 capsule ay hindi gamot at hindi dapat gamitin panggamot sa anumang uri ng sakit.
Kapag kintab na sahig ang pag-uusapan, dito na tayo sa number 1. Star Wax Floor Wax. Kintab ay to the max.
Ay nakahihis na sakit. Huwag na nang dinding tayo mga bisis. Kapag kintab na pag-uusapan, dito na tayo sa number 1. Mag-Star Wax Wax, Star Wax Wax. Yan ang kintab na to the max, max, max.
Star Wax ang number 1 floor wax. May waterproof formula. Buhusan mo ng tubig, palikintab ang sahig.
Star Wax Wax, Star Wax Wax.
Star Wax, di amoy gas.
Star Wax ang number 1 kintab na to the max.
Star Wax ang number 1 floor wax. Gawa ng ACS Manufacturing Corporation. ISO certified world-class quality.
ACS.
Shield Bath Soap. Galit sa sakit at may malasakit. Ang Shield Bath Soap ay recommended ng Philippine Nurses Association.
Di biro maging nurse, dapat marunong sa sakit at marunong mag-alaga. Yung bang may malasakit, kaya pagdating sa baths, hanap ko tulad ko, lalo't may pamilya ko. Kaya ang gamit ko, Shield Bath Soap. Galit ito sa sakit, nagdulot ng germs, may antibacterial na pareho ng sariling brand, at may malasakit sa skin dahil may shea butter moisturizer. May malasakit din sa budget dahil super affordable. Kaya naman recommended ito ng Philippine Nurses Association. Shield galit sa sakit, may malasakit.
Shield Bath Soap, manufactured by ACS Manufacturing Corporation.
ACS. Ay, ito.
Shemalin. Hapon na mukhang fresh ka pa din. Ay, baho lang ng anit.
Mabahong anit? Mag-new Head and Shoulders every day para kahit malapit, fresh ang anit.
Shemalin, fresh ka na sa hapon man o sa malapitan.
New Head and Shoulders for 100% dander-free hair. No visible flakes with regular use.
You're still tuned in to Newsline Weekend. I'm Raymond Kaibigan. Sanctions called for national ID card supplier after BSP contract termination. Former Senator Panfilo Ping Lacson on Friday said sanctions should be implemented against All Card Incorporated, the supplier of Philsys ID cards, after the central bank terminated its contract with the company. It should not end with a simple termination. Following proper legal procedures, sanctions with commensurate damages must be imposed, Lacson said in a statement. Failure to fully implement the Philippine Identification System Act 6 years after its passage is unacceptable, he added. The central bank terminated the contract between the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas and ACI, the supplier of Philsys ID cards, on Thursday for its alleged failure to deliver in its deal. Last year, ACI was also disqualified for the delivery of driver's license cards even after submitting the lowest bid. In a statement, the Philippine Statistics Authority said it is taking necessary measures for the continuous issuance of national IDs. PSA trusts the assessment and decision of the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas to terminate its contract with their supplier for the national ID card production, it said. PSA said national IDs are available in registration centers, while the recently launched digital national ID can be downloaded through a link. In other news, Representative Franz Castro clarifies context to VP Sara Duterte's attack in House budget hearing. Representative Franz Castro is unfazed by Vice President Sara Duterte's bringing up her pending Court of Appeals child abuse case during the House budget hearing. The lawmaker in fact said she was expecting it. Actually, ini-expect ko na talaga na sasabihin niya yun. Alam na namin yun. The lawmaker casually told Radyo Natin To on Friday. This is the response, or in response, to Duterte's answer to one of Castro's questions, in which she said, "I do not understand why a person convicted of child abuse is still sitting in the seat of the House." The ACT Teachers Party List representative explained that the conviction came from a 2018 military harassment situation during a solidarity mission in Davao del Norte. The case stemmed from Castro's supposed rescue of teachers and LUMAD students from being locked in a public school facility by the military in Talaingod. The Tagum Regional Trial Court decided that the accused, including Castro, committed acts detrimental to the safety and well-being of minor LUMAD learners. In her defense, Castro said her group and a few other organizations all went to visit the local government unit and the regional offices of the Department of Social Welfare and Development and the Department of Education to inform the mission The lawmaker said an appeal to the regional trial court conviction is already pending in the Court of Appeals. Duterte's next hearing with Castro and other members of the House for further interpolation of the OVP's 2025 budget is set on September 10. In entertainment, Beanie and SB19 shine spotlight on rising P-pop movement. As they receive their Voice of Asia Awards in Seoul, South Korea, nation's girl group Beanie and Kings of P-pop SB19 highlighted their celebration of Filipino music and the thriving P-pop movement. Both groups were picked up by Billboard Philippines to receive the award for their groundbreaking contributions to Filipino music and their unwavering championing of P-pop on the global stage. In the Billboard K-Power 100 event, SB19 and Beanie expressed their gratitude to their fans and supporters in their respective speeches. Being here tonight with so many talented artists inspire us to keep pushing boundaries and share our music with the world. This award reminds us that anything is possible with hard work and dedication, Beanie said. The 8-member group also called out to their fellow artists, sharing how honored they were to be in the event and how they admire and respect them. In their speech, Beanie also said fellow P-pop group SB19 inspired them a shout-out which the five-member group also reciprocated in their speech. During their turn, SB19 also mentioned, Bini, we are proud of you. We've been making waves right now. This award belongs not just to us, but to the entire P-pop movement, OPM, and of course, everyone sharing Filipino creativity across Asia and the world, SB19 said. The Billboard K-Power 100 event is an annual event that celebrates the top names in the global music industry. The event was graced also by K-pop acts EXO CBX, Divis, Stay C, The Boys, Kate Warner, and GOT7's Bam Bam. And finally in sports, despite season best, Pinoy para-archer Agustina Batilok faces rough start in Paris ranking rounds. Filipina Paralympian Agustina Bantilok registered her season high in the para-archery women individual compound open event in Paris, but she still faces a tall order after ranking last at the end of the elimination rounds. The Paralympic debutant will have to overcome her rough start as she heads to battle fifth seed Jane Carla Gogel of Brazil in the round of 16 yesterday, Friday. The Baguio native finished last among all 28 competitors despite a season best score of 618 in the open ranking round. The 56-year-old delegate, oldest among the six sent to Paris, ended the first half with 313 points. She was able to pick up her pace and fired 4 tens in the fourth set but failed to sustain her momentum. Bantilok was pulled down by some 5-point hits from a wayward arrow in the first half's closing set. Another shaky start in the second half hounded Bantilok, leading to 153 points over 3 ends and finishing the last half of the rounds with 305. Bantilok's knockout round versus Gogel is set at 3:17 p.m. A quick roundup of today's headlines. Alice Van Cassandra Ong and others faces money laundering raps. CA extends freeze order on Quibloy's assets until Feb 2025. Marcos appoints ex-regional tourism director as National Youth Commission chief. Filipino sailors hold the line at Flashpoint, West Philippine Sea Reef. Sanctions called for national ID card supplier after BSP contract termination. Representative Franz Castro clarifies context to VP Sara's Duterte's attack in House budget hearing. In entertainment, Bini and SB19 shine spotlight on rising P-pop movement. And in sports, despite season best, Pinoy para-archer Agustina Batilok faces rough start in Paris ranking rounds. And those are the stories making headlines today, August 31, 2024. For Newsline Weekend, I'm Raymond Kaibigan. Keep it here on Radyo Natin To. Usapang Popcorn is up next. Good morning.
Mas pinalakas na pagbabalita, komentaryong walang mintis, iba't ibang entertainment. Radyo Natin To.